The Speaker of the House is trying to be slick. Look at this from Axios. Pelosi trolls Trump with bill to alter the 25th Amendment process. So the bill sets up a congressional committee to determine whether or not a president is fit to serve. A congressional committee can step in and say, I know the American people elected somebody, but we're going to determine whether or not it's okay. Like a council of elder oligarchs to say, that one's acceptable, that one's not acceptable. So she's doing this with Jamie Raskin. Jamie Raskin originally proposed this bill, I think, in 2016, and it established a body to be made up of physicians, psychiatrists, and former public officials like former presidents or cabinet secretaries selected by congressional leadership. So I do think this new one's a little bit different. The old one was, like I just said, physicians, psychiatrists, former public officials, people in the cabinet. I think this new one is just congressional leadership. But either way, the idea here is, hey, we're going to determine both from a physical perspective and a mental/psychological perspective whether or not somebody is allowed to be president. The thing that I find so amazing about this, and just to be clear, she is just trolling Trump because this is going nowhere, right? But the thing that annoys me is, let's assume for a second it did get implemented. And you'd have a bunch of the hashtag resistance wine moms who are really excited about that. How do you not understand it will immediately be used against Democrats? In fact, it will be used more successfully by Republicans against Democrats. I mean, the Democrats are running a zombie with a melting brain. Now, people could deny that all day long, but they're being ridiculous. We can see it. So the Democrats are running somebody who's really losing it by the day. And you want to set up this commission to determine whether or not somebody is prepared to handle the tough job of president right now in what is likely, the very end of Trump's time in office. So you would get this implemented, and then immediately after you get it implemented, day one, the Republicans would be like, yeah, we're going to make sure that we set up one of these committees for Biden. And then they'd bring in their experts who are highly political, who would say, yeah, no, the guy's on his way out. He's sundowning. He's got issues. He can't handle this from a physical perspective, from a psychological perspective. Who are we kidding? This guy's not prepared. This guy's not ready. And Nancy Pelosi and all of her loser corporate Democrat buddies would be sitting there like, I didn't see this coming. That's right. You didn't see it coming because you're idiots. On top of being corrupt and doing the bidding of corporations and billionaires over the people, on top of that, they're also just not smart. Like, even if you got rid of the corporate money from the system and you had this same merry band of idiots, they would still strategically shoot themselves in the dick every 4.5 minutes because they're not bright. Forget the idea of playing chess. Not only are they not playing chess, they're also not playing checkers. Because even in a game of checkers, you could see that this move is going to backfire and hurt you. Anybody could see it. Look at Joe Biden. Look at him. Listen, the way it works is it doesn't matter if you hate the person in office. If they were elected, they were elected. That's how it works. Imagine for a second Bernie Sanders won the primary and then won the presidency. That would be amazing. I'd love it. Are you kidding me? They would, of course, the Republicans would use this immediately, and they'd probably use it successfully because they have no problem. For them, it's all about power. It's all about power and crushing the opposition by any means necessary. The Democrats love this, like, their obsession with process. And, oh, would you look at that? The process always ends up being violated by Republicans, followed by the Democrats, and so the Republicans end up getting their way. I get it again. She's just trolling. This is going nowhere. But it just annoys me that, like, of course this would be used against you, and it would be used more effectively against you, and yet you still want to do it because you're just a little virtue signaler. This is right part and parcel with everything Nancy Pelosi does. From the clap, where she literally said after the clap, she was like, I don't know why people are acting like this was, me being condescending. I was actually clapping for his speech. I liked it. The ripping up the speech, like, rubes cling to these symbolic nonsense things to view them as some sort of strong resistance, because there is no actual there or substance of the Democrats strongly resisting the Republicans. She passed Trump's military budget, which was a colossal increase. She gave him more NSA spying powers. More. On those two things alone, open and shut case. It's over. Case closed. They're the assistants, not the resistance. To be fair, I didn't make that up, so I heard that from somebody else, but it's accurate. It's accurate. So, congrats. They can't even troll properly. They can't even troll properly. There are ways to troll that are reasonable that wouldn't immediately be flipped on you. Again, maybe I'm overstating this all because it comes to naught anyway. It's not getting anywhere. But I do think it really does highlight this total lack of strategic ability from the Democrats, where, usually you would propose something, even if it's going nowhere, you would propose something that theoretically benefits you guys and just you guys and wouldn't immediately backfire. But no, they can't even do that because they're really stupid on top of being corrupt.